participants as they pop in.
Yep, we are live.
We have 2 minutes to, or minute to 12 noon, so we will wait for that minute.
How do we, sorry, just a quick question. How do we gain access to the public chat? Because right now I just see the private one.
It's private, I guess comments is the public chat.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, some LinkedIn comments won't show. Right.
Okay. So comments is the public, private. Got it.
Yeah, exactly.
Wonderful.
Okay. Yes, we're ready. Okay. Good afternoon. Thank you all for taking time out of your day to join us here this afternoon. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Hayden Wilson, and I'm the president of the New York City Metro chapter of Cyversity. Here at Cyversity, we strive for the consistent representation of women, underrepresented communities, and veterans in the cybersecurity industry. We do this through programs designed to diversify, educate, and empower our members. This is one of the main reasons we have partnered with NYU, specifically the digital learning at the Tandon School of Engineering. And we've looked at the array of programs that they have to offer that would be valuable to our members. So here this afternoon, we have Eli Goodman, who is the partnership manager of the digital learning program, as well as Samantha Mazzola, manager of marketing and enrollment, also of the NYU Digital Learning Tandon School of Engineering. And they're going to sort of do a deep dive into the programs that they offer that are specifically geared towards the cybersecurity professional. All right, so here I will turn it over to Eli.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. Yeah, again, hello, everyone. My name is Eli Goldman. I am the Partnerships Manager at NYU Tandon's Digital Learning Department. My role is to help bridge the gap between academia and industry and build collaborative partnerships with organizations such as Cyversity. And I'm also joined today by Sam Mazzola, who will be covering our admissions process. For today's session, we're going to be covering a few different topics, which includes who we are as a university, who we are as a school, and finally, who we are as a digital learning department. We're going to give you an overview of our signature programs and scholarship support for these programs. And then the admission process, again, will be covered by Sam. At the end of the presentation, we'll answer any questions you may have. But with that, let's get started. So some quick facts about NYU. NYU is nearly 200 years old, which means we have almost 20 decades of experience in delivering excellent results for our students. NYU is also the largest university in the US. NYU's campuses are mainly in NYC, but we have a global footprint as well, with 12 academic centers around the world in places like Paris and Buenos Aires, which I think is really interesting. We serve over 60,000 students per academic year, and we also have a network of more than 650,000 alumni. These students and alumni come from 183 countries, which means that when you come to NYU, you're being exposed to global ideas and you become part of a global network. Tandon is consistently ranked as one of the best engineering schools in the US and is known globally as a tech education leader. We have world-class facilities which are available to you whenever you're on our campus in Brooklyn. And Tandon also focuses on more than 7 intersecting areas of research excellence, which includes things like AI, cybersecurity, communications and IT, data science, emerging media, health, robotics, sustainability, and urban living. The digital learning programs are, generally speaking, 100% online. All our programs are open to both domestic and international employees or members of a organization such as Cyversity. We are 100% committed as well to delivering a student-centered and online learning experience should you choose to enroll in one of our programs. And lastly, even though you'd be an online student, if you happen to find yourself in Brooklyn, you have access to our world-class facilities and programming that any on-campus student would as well. Some quick information about the makeup of our digital learning community here at Tandon. The average age of our students is 34. Nearly 90% of our students work full-time, which means that your fellow classmates would understand your lived experiences as a student and full-time working professional. Additionally, nearly 90% of our students take our programs on a part-time basis. On the right of the slide is a list of the top 10 professional sectors our students come from, which includes government, healthcare, financial services, and more. This means, again, that you get exposed to an incredibly diverse student body, you have more engaging conversations in class, and you develop a broader and more informed understanding of the topics discussed in class as well. Here are a list of some of our incredible partners, aside from Cyversity, of course. Again, like our student body, our high caliber partners are diverse and span across several professional sectors, from government to financial services and more. Our partners engage with us in several ways, which is really great. Executives from our partners from our Cyber Fellows Advisory Council, which comes together annually to advise on curriculum, engage with students, and discuss the latest cyber issues with Tandon staff and faculty. This helps us ensure that curriculum is relevant and bridges that gap between academia and industry. We also collaborate with our partners on workforce development initiatives, hosting informative presentations like this one to employees or an organization's membership about our programs, which can help you grow personally, academically, and of course, professionally. And lastly, several leaders from these partners serve as mentors to our students and even serve as guest speakers for both online and in-person events at Tandon. Additionally, we also partner with companies to make specific, mostly cybersecurity related skills badges. These badges are free for enrolled students. These are skills-based badges that were created jointly with companies such as Google, Security Scorecard, and more. They help students reskill and upskill their cybersecurity knowledge. And now we're going to have a quick overview of our signature programs and the scholarship support for these programs. Our Center for Cybersecurity is an interdisciplinary research institute here at Tandon. The center is a joint effort between elements of several NYU schools shown at the bottom, which includes Tandon, NYU Law, and more. The center is responsible for cybersecurity research, education, helping shape academic courses and public discourse. One of these programs that it helps shape includes NYU Cyber Fellows, also known as our Cybersecurity Master's degree. This is our signature fully online cybersecurity master's program. It's very rigorous and originally was developed in conjunction with the city of New York to address the massive need for cyber talent here in the city. It is also an affordable option as well, with a 75% tuition scholarship for all qualifying students. This means that accepted NYU Cyber Fellows pay around $18,000 for their degree, perhaps even lower, depending on the continuing educational support you receive from your current employer or membership society. If you are looking to upskill your background into cyber, this is a great option. Being our most technical degree, though, I want to stress we want to see applicants to this program have a STEM background before applying. And if they don't, we suggest that you pursue the Bridge Certificate program, which we'll discuss later in this presentation. Here's a quick overview of the cybersecurity master's curriculum. A core of cybersecurity classes are required of all students. Depending on your proficiency with computer science, you may opt to take either breadth electives or depth electives. Breadth electives are meant for someone looking to strengthen their background in computer science. Depth electives are meant for someone looking to focus on more specialized subjects such as digital forensics or mobile security. The elective courses ensure that your education is relevant to developments in cybersecurity, because again, we're always looking to bridge that gap between academia and industry. And in this industry in particular, as we all know, things are constantly changing. The program concludes with a capstone project, which a student with support from faculty design a professional project. And again, you can also attend this program part-time or full-time, and there is a 75% scholarship available for this specific program. We are also excited to talk about our Emerging Technologies Master Degree. This is essentially a build-your-own program here at Tandon's Digital Learning Department. It's 30 credits total, just like Cyber Fellows. A big difference, though, is the level of choice you are given in regards to this program's focus. Applicants can choose from one of 9 concentration areas, which they feel best aligned with their skills, interests, and passions. With this master's program, students are easily able to take courses from the listed concentration areas such as software development, change management, and more, all areas of expertise for Tandon, by the way. One student's coursework in this program is likely to look very different from another, and that is the strength of the program. Again, giving you the option to focus on what aligns with your skills, interests, and passions. As with Cyber Fellows, you can go part-time or full-time. Please note, though, that this program is eligible for a 20% partner scholarship versus the 75% as with our Cyber Fellows program. Other forms of financial aid and support are available, though, such as deferred tuition. Here's just one example of one student's pathway in our Emerging Technologies program, where they chose to focus on cybersecurity, but they're also learning about data science. Here's another example where the student focuses on cybersecurity as well, but learned more about robotics and design versus data science. Our Management of Technology master's degree, or what we call MOT, is a less technical degree, but broader in scope. This degree focuses on the intersection of business and tech, and is similar to an MBA program in some ways, having core business classes, but differs by having a more technical focus. Another difference is that you can also finish this program in half the time of a traditional MBA program, and for about half the cost as well. Again, the degree really works to help you build both business and the technical foundation. And you're also able to focus on knowledge areas such as digital strategies and innovations, people analytics, project management, or cybersecurity management. Unlike the previous 2 programs, though, I want to stress, MOT is a total of 36 credits, so it takes students slightly longer to complete, generally speaking. Students are required to take core business classes, which equals 12 credits, and a core of tech management classes, which equals 9 credits. Students also have the opportunity to take electives, which align with their skills, interests, and passions. And like our other programs, the degree will conclude with a capstone project in which a student with support from a faculty member designs a professional project. The MOT program is also eligible for the 20% partner scholarship discount as well, just like our Emerging Technologies master degree program. Here's a quick overview of the MOT curriculum. Again, all students take both a core of business classes and tech management classes. You can also choose one of 4 knowledge areas and dive deeper into digital strategies and innovations, people analytics, project management, or cybersecurity management. Our cybersecurity risk and strategy master's degree is another great program we offer, whereas Cyber Fellows focuses on the technical side of cybersecurity. This program focuses on a macro view of cybersecurity and covers relevant laws as well as the regulatory landscape, which I think is really fascinating. You'll be learning from world-class faculty in computer science, law, policy, and business, and it gives you a more holistic view of cybersecurity. But just some important notes. Whereas the other programs mentioned here today are 100% online. This program does have a couple of components where students are asked to come to New York City for community building purposes and networking and engagement opportunities. Additionally, While offered by NYU Tandon's Digital Learning Department, this specific program is housed at NYU's Law School, which also handles the admissions process for this program and is therefore not eligible for Tandon's Digital Learning 20% partner scholarship discount. With that mentioned, though, other scholarships and forms of financial aid and or support from NYU, such as deferred tuition, is available. Here's a side-by-side comparison of the first three programs we've discussed here today. Again, all the programs take about 2 to 3 years part-time to finish, but remember, MOT is going to take you slightly longer since it's 36 credits versus 30. Another key difference between the programs are the scholarships, where Cyber Fellows is eligible for that 75% scholarship, but Emerging Tech and MOT have a 20% partner scholarship. Lastly, a technical background is required for Cyber Fellows, but is not required for MOT. The need for a technical background for Emerging Technologies program is going to be dependent on your chosen concentration area. Here's a breakdown and comparison of the tuition for those same three programs. As previously mentioned, Cyber Fellows is incredibly affordable. The bolded totals at the bottom of the slide are the estimated out-of-pocket costs for each program, with any scholarship discount from NYU applied, but before any tuition assistance from an employer or membership society applied. So again, Cyber Fellows is going to come out to around $18,000. Emerging Technologies comes out to just over $56,000. And MOT comes out to just over $67,000. And remember, part of the reason for MOT being more expensive as well is because it is a longer program overall at 36 credits. To help make things easier for you, though, with your applications and enrollment for any of these programs, we also offer deferred tuition and waived tuition fees for applicants associated with our partners, such as Cyversity. Again, like we mentioned before, if you are applying to a program that requires a technical background, such as Cyber Fellows, but do not have one, our Bridge certificate helps you address that issue. This program takes 5 to 7 months to complete. Its goal is to help prepare you to reskill into a more technical role. This certificate will help you become more proficient in tech and gain the background needed to qualify for programs such as Cyber Fellows. We also partner with CUNY, GW, and PACE, who will accept this Bridge certificate as a qualification component for some of their programs as well. So again, if you're looking at these other universities, and of course we want you to come here, but if you're looking at these other universities, potentially you can use this as part of your application. We believe it is important to help diversify the field of tech, and the Bridge Certificate program specifically helps to do that by giving students who need a technical background an opportunity to learn so they can pivot and reskill. It is also 100% online with a 21-week and 20-week, with a 21-week and 28-week option. If completed, folks are invited to apply to our master's programs without needing to submit any standardized test scores, and all application fees are waived as well. And then lastly, we're going to touch on our executive and professional education offerings and our certificates too, which are also non-accredited, just so you know. We have both one-off courses, which are open enrollment, or certificates with multiple courses that culminate in you receiving a certificate covering the areas listed on the left of the slide. We are constantly updating our courses for all our programs, even for the non-accredited certificates, to ensure we're always able to bridge that gap between academia and industry, and that you are supporting your personal, educational, and professional growth. The main categories we're offering non-accredited certificates for right now are AR, cybersecurity, data science, design and media, and fintech. We also have some wonderful 9-month executive programs that are designed for someone who wants to be on a CIO or a CISO track. And both these non-accredited certifications and executive programs are also eligible for that 20% partner scholarship. I know that was a lot of information, so at the end of this session, if you had any questions about that, we'll answer them for you. But for right now, I'm going to hand it over to Sam to go over requirements and deadlines.
Thanks, Eli. Could we go ahead to the next page? Thank you. All right, so I'll go ahead and talk through. These are our upcoming deadlines and application requirements for all of our master's programs. So we do currently have both our spring and fall intake applications open right now. So if you're interested in starting an application, you can do so at any time. For the spring 2025 intake, that application is going to be due on November 1st of this year, and then term will begin at the end of January of 2025. If you prefer to start in the fall, that application is going to be due all the way in July of next year. It stays open quite late, and then that term is set to begin early September 2025. So either way, whichever one you're interested in applying for, you can start and submit that application now. Once you've submitted with all the program requirements, which I'll go over in just a moment, you can expect to hear back with a decision in about 3 to 4 weeks. So speaking of those application requirements, on the right-hand side, you'll see a full list. Starting from the top, our grad admissions team does typically look for a 3.0 GPA minimum. It's not a hard cutoff. They do still complete a holistic review of the application, even if your former GPAs are below that 3.0 minimum, but typically that is what they're looking for. The GRE and GMAT are not required for our applications. You'll see them on your checklist as an optional item, which you can certainly upload scores for if you have them, but it's not required for any of the online programs. You will be required to upload a resume, which can be very similar to your professional resume. We just recommend tweaking it slightly to make it relevant to the program that you're applying for and really emphasize any relevant experience you have. You'll also need to include a statement of purpose. So if you are applying for any other program than cybersecurity, as well as the Cyber Fellows Scholarship, that's going to be a 1 to 2 page double-spaced statement of purpose, no longer than 2 pages. And there's 2 essay questions, which essentially just ask, give us a little bit of background about yourself, what drew you to the program, why are you interested in it, and then what do you hope to do after you graduate. So you'll see both those prompts on the application as well. If you are applying for the Cybersecurity Master's Program and you're interested in the Cyber Fellows 75% scholarship, the requirements are slightly different. So for the statement of purpose, it only needs to be 250 words. There aren't any essay prompts, but you can just write along the same general lines. A little bit of background about you, what brought you to the program, and what you hope to do with it after you graduate. So just 250 words for those folks. And then the professional recommendations, that's also slightly different for Cyber Fellow applicants and everyone else. For Cyber Fellows, they need to just list 2 professional references on their application with their names and emails, but that's really all you need to do. For everyone else, you will need to have those 2 references listed, but you'll also need to have those folks submit letters of recommendation for you. For Cyber Fellows, we just kind of abridge the application process to make it a little bit easier, a little bit more streamlined. So for your first application review, letters of recommendation aren't required. The only time that they would reach out to those references that you list is if the graduate admissions team determines they need a little bit more information to make a decision on your application. So pretty rare that that happens, but just wanted to make a note of that. And then finally, everyone will need to include copies of official transcripts from any post-secondary institution. So at minimum, you need to have attained a bachelor's degree, and that will need to be included prior to application submission. But any other schools that you attended for 6 or more credits will also need to be listed on your academic history, and copies of those official transcripts will need to be added to your application as well. For folks who did not complete their bachelor's degree in the US, and are not US citizens, you may also be required to upload English language proficiency test scores. So we do accept 5 different scores, as you can see, or 5 different testing services, as you can see on the screen. There are minimum scores for each. So if you think that's something that might apply to you, definitely recommend reaching out to our team. We can give you more information on that requirement and also link you to an ELP waiver form if you feel like it's something that you should be exempted from. So that's everything for the MS programs, and then we can go on and talk about Bridge. So for the Bridge program, they're going to be looking for, again, a minimum of a bachelor's degree. So you do have to have already attained a 4-year bachelor's degree, but it can be in any discipline, since the whole point of the program is to kind of help move you towards a technical master's degree. We're going to be looking for, again, copies of your official transcripts, at least from the bachelor's degree institution, and it does have to be in English. They are also asking this year for a resume and a statement of purpose. So if you want more information on that program, you can reach out to us as well. There is a dedicated bridge office that we can redirect you to for any more complicated questions. But that is the general requirements for that program for this year. And they will again be looking for a 3.0 GPA minimum. Not a hard cutoff, but they are still looking for that. It'll just make you a stronger applicant if you did achieve that as a minimum on your previous transcripts. And we can go to the next page. And this just has a high level overview of, again, the master's degree deadlines that we already went over, as well as the upcoming bridge deadlines. So they do have a few intakes set up for this year. One, which is the longer duration, the 28-week in spring. So that application is going to be due March 1st. So you have plenty of time if you're interested in applying for that program. Set to start at the beginning of April and end at the end of October. So that's the lengthier duration. And then if you're interested in starting for the fall, we do have a 21 and a 28-week set up for that. So if you'd prefer to do the shorter duration, it's just going to be the fall intake that is available for that program. Those are both due on August 1st each year and start the first day of the regular semester. And then they'll run through either the beginning of March or the end of March, depending on the duration that you choose. And I think that's it for me.
Right. Great. Thank you, Eli. Thank you, Samantha.
Of course.
I see we have one question here from Duvar Moultrie, and he asks, does the cybersecurity master's program include the opportunity to earn industry recognized certifications such as CISSP, CEH, or CompTIA? If so, which ones?
Before answering that, I'd want to double check with our teams here just to make sure we get you the correct information. And you can also follow up with us like directly after this information to make sure that we get that to you, that information to you in a timely manner.
Okay, so you would leave your contact information, make that available to the participants. Okay, great. Okay, do we have any more questions for Eli or Samantha? I had one question, but you answered it already. It was related to international students, but
yes,
it was answered there. You did touch on that, so
yeah. And just to reiterate, so whether you are based here or abroad, as long as you are associated with one of our partners, in this case Cyversity, who isn't an industry partner but like what we would call a membership society, you are able to apply to our programs and you are able to receive the discount associated with the specific programs, which again, for emerging tech and MOT, that is 20%. For cyber fellows, it is 75%. And for cybersecurity risk and management, those two aren't available, but there are other forms of scholarship and financial aid and support available.
Okay, great.
I know that's a little complicated, so if anyone has like a specific question about that right now, I can answer it as best as possible. And of course, you can always shoot me an email. I'm at eng7919@nyu.edu. Any other questions?
Just for clarification, with the master's programs, there seems to be the ability to sort of really customize it to do specific programs that maybe that you may want to do.
Yeah. Well, the level, just to clarify, the level of customization with each of the 4 programs we mentioned is heavily dependent. So, with emerging tech and media, could we actually go back to that slide by any chance? Yeah, right there. So for this example, for this specific program, this is by far the most customizable. So basically, again, this is sort of, a choose your own program. So if you want to focus on data science, software development, urban informatics, robotics, cybersecurity, whatever it is, you can do that with this program. And then you fill it out with courses that touch on these other subjects. So it's not just, straight cybersecurity or straight urban informatics. It could be cybersecurity and user experience. It could be wireless networking and innovation and change management. It's really up to you. With MOT, you do have one of those 4 concentration areas, so there's a little bit of customization there. And then with the other 2 programs, whether Cyber Fellows or the Cybersecurity Risk and Management, there are going to be opportunities for electives. But if you're looking for like a truly customizable experience, this is by far the best option I think you have.
Okay.
And
Any
again,
more questions?
oh no, I was
Sorry.
just going to say, and I know we just threw a lot of information at the people on the call. So if there's a question that, comes up later or like after we get off this call, that's totally fine. My email is in the chat. Again, it's eng7919@nyu.edu. Feel free to shoot me a message and I will get you connected to the right team.
Okay, great. Do we have any more questions? Anyone else have a question that we should address? Okay. Well, guess we will have some time back. I just want to thank Eli Goldman and Sam for sharing the information here with what's offered at NYU. And like they said, if you have any questions that come up at any time, even in a discussion you're having with someone, something may come up, feel free to reach out to Eli and Samantha. Samantha, did you put your out?
I did not, but Eli can connect
Okay.
to whichever team he needs, and we'll be happy to help.
Okay, so great. So yes, feel free to reach out to Eli with any questions that may come up at a later time, and I just want to thank them for sharing the information of the programs that's offered by the Digital Learning Attendant School of Engineering. And I think that will be it. So if there are no more questions, I want to thank you all for joining us here this afternoon. And I hope you would have gained some value out of this and it would help you in planning the next steps in your cybersecurity career. All right. So
thank you all.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Of course.
Have a good one.
Okay.
Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.